Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano, has just dropped some major updates that could reshape the relationship between Cardano and XRP. From XRP integration into Cardano's Lace wallet, to a joint Cardano-XRP event featuring big names in crypto, and even forming a dedicated XRP team for the Midnight project. These are not small moves. Let's unpack what this all means, why it matters, and whether these initiatives are truly groundbreaking or simply strategic optics. First, the setting. Hoskinson revealed these plans during a surprise AMA session on August 22nd. Interestingly, this wasn't just a casual talk. He mentioned attending a roundtable event with some of the biggest figures in the crypto industry. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse, Solana co-founder Anatoly Yakovenko, Chainlink co-founder Sergey Nazarov, and Near Protocol's founder Ilya Polosukhin. Having these leaders in one room signals an important trend. Major projects are seeking stronger collaboration across ecosystems. Hoskinson has been advocating for this kind of cooperation for years, and now it looks like he's making good on that vision. Now let's look at the first concrete initiative. XRP support is coming to Lace, Cardano's official light wallet, by the end of this year. This is not entirely new. Back in April, Hoskinson already hinted at this integration, but this time he clarified the timeline. By the end of 2025, users will finally be able to store, send, and receive XRP directly in Lace. That's a big step for interoperability. On the surface, this might sound technical, but in practice it's simple. It gives both Cardano and XRP holders a more seamless way to engage with each other's ecosystems. It's about breaking down barriers between two communities that once saw each other as rivals. The second highlight is Hoskinson's idea of hosting a joint Cardano and XRP event. What's particularly interesting is that he suggested bringing in John Deaton, the well-known pro-XRP lawyer who played a big role in the community's legal battles. Deaton himself responded, saying it would be an honor to work with Hoskinson and other industry figures. This isn't just a symbolic gesture, it's about community building. Remember, the relationship between Cardano and XRP hasn't always been friendly. Between 2022 and early 2024, there was quite a bit of hostility. But last year, Hoskinson made peace, even extending midnight airdrop benefits to XRP holders. That move was a turning point, showing that old rivalries could transform into partnerships. Speaking of midnight, this brings us to the third major initiative. Hoskinson revealed that a dedicated XRP team will be formed within the Midnight project, with a focus potentially on commercial applications. Midnight itself is Cardano's data protection blockchain, and XRP's involvement means more cross-chain collaboration. So far, about 70,000 users across 8 supported blockchains have claimed 1.6 billion Night tokens in the ongoing scavenger mine. For context, around 2.21 million XRP wallets qualify for the Midnight airdrop, with 2.623 billion Night tokens allocated specifically to XRP holders. This is not just token distribution. It's a way of weaving the XRP community directly into Cardano's growth story. But here's the bigger question. What does all this really mean? On one hand, it shows maturity. Instead of doubling down on tribalism, Hoskinson is opening doors for dialogue and shared growth. The collaboration with Garlinghouse and XRP could create new opportunities for interoperability in the broader crypto industry. On the other hand, we have to ask whether this is more about narrative than substance. Integration of XRP into Lace and setting up an XRP team in Midnight are promising, but the actual impact will depend on execution. Will these features attract meaningful adoption, or will they remain symbolic gestures of unity? Another angle to consider is timing. With regulatory scrutiny still looming over crypto, partnerships and cross-ecosystem cooperation could be a way to project strength and resilience. If big names like Cardano, Ripple, Solana, Chainlink, and Near can find common ground, it sends a message that the industry is willing to collaborate despite competition. Hoskinson himself described his chat with Garlinghouse as a great conversation about partnerships. That language suggests more could be coming down the line. In conclusion, Hoskinson's announcements point to a future where rivalry gives way to cooperation, at least between Cardano and XRP. The initiatives, XRP integration into Lace, a joint community event, and the creation of a dedicated XRP team in Midnight, are all signals of this shift. For investors and users, the key takeaway is clear. The crypto industry is moving toward collaboration, and Cardano wants to position itself at the center of that movement. Whether it becomes a defining trend, or simply a symbolic gesture will depend on what comes next. So what do you think? Are these steps from Hoskinson and Garlinghouse the start of a real partnership between Cardano and XRP? Or are we just seeing strategic PR moves to win back community trust?